Turn on your camera.
Good.
I'm using my phone. I'm too lazy to walk upstairs.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh my.
Oh, hello.
Dan, how happy are you? You're not the senior rabbi of a big shul during COVID, huh?
It's such a pleasure to have you as my spiritual leader.
Yeah. Nice to be in the passenger seat, isn't it?
Indeed.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, good to see you.
He's a baseball fan, isn't he? Steve?
Oh.
Happy Hanukkah to all.
Happy Chanukah from Santa Monica.
There you go.
There
There's
you
a
go.
song like that.
Remember that Tom Lehrer song?
Yeah, that's it.
We're
You
old,
heard what
man.
they did to the Cleveland Indians?
I heard.
What did you see you on the baseball discussion last night? It was fun.
I know. You listen, I cannot compete with Don Gurney when it comes to baseball. That guy is a baseball savant. He
Yeah.
really is. He's like Rain Man when it comes to baseball.
He's got it all.
He's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now let's see. There was Allison, come on, turn your camera on and say hello to everyone. Where are you?
Oh, I love that dog.
There she is. Hi, Allison.
This is Miriam. Where is she?
It's so good to see you.
Come here, Mimi.
What's your shirt say? Eat well, work hard. What's after that? Love truly, travel out. That's beautiful. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all of life right there. Very true.
Meet Miriam.
Where's
My dog.
Miriam? I don't see Miriam.
Dog.
up here.
Right here, the blonde dog. Jelly.
Oh, the dog's name is Miriam. Of course it is. Of course it is. Susan Nannis, turn your camera on and say hello to everyone.
Where is she?
Oh,
She's here, but you know,
Where is she?
she'll come on. Hey, Rhonda, good to see you. But I don't see you. I don't know about, I think it's cowardly not to turn your camera on. I think it's just cowardly. Let's enjoy our common humanity. Turn the camera on, look at everybody's gray roots. Come on. It's okay.
It is what it is.
Rabbi.
It's what it is. That's right. I look like I'm about 8 months pregnant now, so you know, let's just all be who we are.
COVID-19.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, my God.
Let me see my notes. Happy Hanukkah. All right. We're going to just so everybody knows what's happening. I'm going to give it about 3 or 4 more minutes, and then we'll light the Chanukah. And yes, I'm going to sing. And then we will go to my conversation with Bishop Kenneth Ulmer, talking about religious freedom in the African American and the Jewish tradition. So it'll be both.
Is
By the
Donna-
way, Joan and Steve, I saw David on a Zoom the other day, and I asked him why he wasn't playing sax.
Oh, because he's teaching.
I guess. Hello, Nan Goodman. Good to see you.
Where's Nan Goodman?
She's
our
there.
cousin.
She's there. Take a look.
Hi, y'all. I'm here.
She
She's our
is.
cousin.
She's apparently in San
Yeah,
Francisco.
Joan, you
right
owe me an email.
I do?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
Jan.
you owed one.
Jan and Nan are both in San Francisco, apparently.
Yeah.
We're in Palm
And we're
Desert.
having a great time.
That's good. Good for you. Hello, Alex. Good to see you. Great to see you. Love the beret.
Thank you.
Love the beret. Very stylish. I like it. Gary. Good to see you, Gary. Hope you're having a beautiful Chanukah. There we go. Good for you. I'm going to light mine in just a minute. That's beautiful.
Rabbi Leder, Friday night at Irmis
Yes.
was really terrific.
Good.
Rabbi Nickerson and Kendra Peacock.
That's great.
Really
They're the-
nice, uplifting.
They're the dream team, those two.
Yeah, very uplifting.
We're lucky to have them. We really are. You know, most synagogues, they would be the whole thing for the whole entire synagogue. But here we are with all these rabbis who are doing such a good job.
Very fortunate.
Even Rabbi Nanas.
Thank you. Even me.
And Rabbi Nanas. She knows I love her. You know I love you, right, Susan?
I love you too.
Yeah, we go back a long way.
We really do.
Yep. We're the ones who are steeped in Yiddishkeit.
Midwestern Yiddishkeit.
Midwestern Yiddishkeit. That's right. That's exactly right.
Those Packers.
Did somebody say Packers?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You have to leave the Zoom right now. Okay? You're like in Cherem. You're excommunicated.
My Badgers, not so much, but my Packers.
I don't think there's anything worse than being a Packers fan. I think it's the lowest of the low.
Oh, you've not experienced it. Trust me.
Should I send you a cheese hat?
No. By the way, just so you know, I was at Lambeau Field when on the game when Brett Favre came back to Lambeau as a Viking.
Oh boy.
And we beat the Packers, and I was wearing a cheese head painted purple with horns on it.
I knew you were a sick puppy.
Yeah.
You definitely are a sick puppy.
When I walked in the stadium with my son, you know, into Lambeau with my son,
The hallowed ground.
people were insulting us left and right, but we didn't care, and we won that game.
I remember the game.
Yeah, we digress. It looks to me like pretty much everyone is aboard who's coming aboard. So let me just briefly explain what's going to happen. First, of course, we're going to light the Chanukah for the fifth night of Hanukkah. And you'll be muted, but you can sing the blessings with me, of course. And then we're going to go to my conversation with Bishop Kenneth Ulmer of Faithful Central Bible Church, and the two of us talking about how our faith traditions understand the idea of religious freedom, which I hope you really enjoy. In full disclosure, because of his schedule, we pre-recorded that piece. And so unfortunately, you will not have the opportunity to ask questions, but it's still a pretty interesting and informative conversation with my friend Bishop Ulmer. And when that ends, that will end our Zoom tonight. So I will not be coming on after that. And that will end it. So let's now begin. We're going to light our Chanukah. And just so you know that despite the fact that we left the Reform movement, I'm completely a Reform Jew because I'm using this really fancy thing to light my Chanukah tonight, to light the shamash. I would like to say, give you a little bit of a drosh that is based on this week's Torah portion and the shamash, this candle, and the COVID crisis. This week we're learning about Joseph, and Joseph's life was a series of ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. He is born into a family where he's the favored son, and he's given this coat of many colors by his father. And then his brothers, because of their jealousy and because of his arrogance, throw him into a pit. So he goes from up to down. Then he comes out of the pit, comes up, and then he's sold into slavery. Again, he goes down. Then he ends up being the servant in the home of the second most important person in Egypt. Again, he's risen. But because he's falsely accused of a crime, he ends up in prison, and again, down again. And then because of his ability to interpret dreams, he's freed from prison and ends up ascending to the second most powerful position in the most powerful nation of the day, Egypt. His life is a series of up and down, up and down, up and down. And in the end, when he's at his highest and most powerful, he makes the decision, rather than punishing his brothers who betrayed him, to uplifting them and serving them and guaranteeing the survival of his family. And I think this is very much like the shamash, if you think about it. The shamash is always set above all the other candles, but its mission is to lower itself to bring light and to serve the other candles. And when I light this shamash during this COVID-19 crisis, I think mostly of our first responders, of the doctors and the nurses who are in the hospitals, who are bringing themselves into the midst of the suffering to serve them, to protect them, to care for them, and to bring light to them. And I don't think it is possible to thank them enough for the way in which they're bringing light to the people who so badly need it. So I think of this shamash as our first responders. And I think of it in a way also like Joseph, who eventually found a way to use his privilege to serve the people who needed him. And I hope we all find a way to do that. And that's my Chanukah wish tonight, as we light all 5 of the candles on the 5th night of Chanukah. So let us begin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani lavotenu hayamim ha'ayin ba'azman hazeh. I wish you all a beautiful and warm and light-filled Chanukah. And I hope you enjoy this conversation between me and my friend, the Bishop Kenneth Ulmer, about the meaning and importance of religious freedom and all freedom in our day. Happy Hanukkah, everyone.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach. Chag Urim Sameach.
Before I do anything else, I want to thank you, Bishop Ulmer, my friend, for having this conversation with me. I really appreciate it. You're an incredibly busy guy and always generous with your time for Wilshire Boulevard Temple and for me. So thank you.
Well, it's an honor to be here. I mean, you and I can talk about anything. So
that's true.
This just gives us an excuse to get together again.
Right. Just ask our wives, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Again, welcome and thank you. So what we're going to talk about today, because it is during Hanukkah, is the whole idea of religious freedom. We know that the rabbis changed the narrative of the Hanukkah story to one being about the miraculous power of God and the ability of God to make oil for one day last for 8 days, and therefore the Hanukkah menorah burned for 8 days in the temple. But the historical Hanukkah, the facts of the story, are that it was a rebellion against the Hellenized Greeks who took away the religious freedom of the Jews. They took over the temple, put a statue of Zeus in the temple, defiled the temple, brought pigs into the temple, and essentially shut down the Jewish enterprise from a religious perspective. And the Jews revolted, and they revolted successfully. And there was bloodshed, and it was brutal. And that part of the story has kind of gotten papered over by this nice little fable that the rabbis created for children because they were uncomfortable celebrating military might and military victory. They had a kind of ambivalence about Jewish power. And I think a lot of people have ambivalence about power. I know a lot of Jews have ambivalence about power because we've been on the receiving end of power so often, as of course, so have African Americans forever. But this is the holiday when we stand up for religious freedom.